This is a walkthrough of automatic approval of recurring office bills. I've gone to create a new bill, and I've already populated this form with the vendor name, the reference number, the memo, and we have a line here for the office rent. And I've already populated the responsibility center. So this is how you would normally create a bill. Normally you would just save the bill and then submit the bill. But in this occasion, we want to set up the automatic approval of the recurring monthly bills. So we have a new tab, which is called Recurring Proposal. So when you create the bill, you would come to this tab and you would select to approve the recurring bill. You'll see immediately a line appear here. It says bills posted from the associated memorized transaction will be auto-approved. So we enter a memorized name. So this is how you will reference the memorized transaction. So we just put here office rent, Birmingham. And we know that this will be next posted. So this is the first posting, but this will next be posted on the 1st of April. And we want to repeat every 1 month. So you can select your time period. And we want this to go for 12 months. So we select 12 months remaining. Or if you don't want a number of months, you can select indefinite. So this will go on every 1 month indefinitely. But in this example, we just want to go for 12 months. So with that populated, I will save the bill. So this initial approval will continue in the same way as you're familiar with in approving bills. So on this bill, I will submit the bill. The approvals in my example are currently only to allow the accountant to review. So I have turned off the responsibility center owner stage of the approval. So you can see here the next approver will be accountant. So move over to my accountant role, the vendor bills pending accountant approval. You'll see here I've got this bill to approve office rent. So let's just view this. So once that's loading, I want to show you the email I have received. So this is a standard email. The vendor bill is waiting for your approval. So you can still approve by email. I could click on approve and send. There are some changes to the PDF. So we've made some changes here. You can clearly see it's a recurring bill with the recurring proposal on the form. We have changed this from portrait to landscape just to fit in more information. So the RC owner or the accountant can clearly see that what they are approving isn't just this one bill, but it will be the recurring bill based on this schedule. So let's go back to the approval. So I can also see on the screen, bills posted from the associated memorized transaction will be auto-approved. So it's very clear that when I click approve, I'm approving the recurring bill as well. So approve. So let me just move that on to another screen. That is now approved. So if I refresh this screen, you will see the approval status is now approved. And under the approver list, you can see that I have approved it as the accountant. Now, this has already created a memorized transaction. So if I go to Transactions Management, enter memorized transactions and list these, you'll see now that there's automatically created a memorized transaction called Office Rent Birmingham. And the number here is actually the internal ID of the original bill. We wanted to just have the name, but NetSuite required us to have more than just a name. So this is what we have done. You can see here that the time period is every month and there's 12 remaining. So let's say it's now the 1st of April. We can enter this bill. The bill is typically likely to have a new reference number. So let's call this April rent. And under here, let's say there's a variation. There's some things we can change and there's some things we can't change on this form now. So you can't change the vendor. You can't change the responsibility center. You can't change the category or the account, but you can change the amount. So let's say this month it's actually 50. We just okay that. And we save. So this can be done as bookkeeper. So the bookkeeper is just coming in and entering the memorized transactions for this month. So once this is saved, you'll see that it is automatically approved. There are no further approval steps to take. If we come over to recurring proposal, you will see here the first bill in the series. So if you wanted to refer back to how the bill was originally approved, you would simply search for this first bill in the series. And that will bring up, well, it should bring up if I had the right settings, but that's the first bill on the series. The other thing to notice is the responsibility center owner has now received an email, here it is, to show that a transaction to a responsibility center for which they are responsible was automatically approved. So this is just an information email. They can see to which responsibility center it went to, the amount, and the memo. So if there were a question at that stage, they could initiate and say, why has this gone up? And that's the new feature.